and horrible.
All right, man. And then, okay, cool. I'm just writing this down so before we get started. Hey, how about it down?
Now you guys are with Spiffa right now?
Yeah, we currently.
No, we're with SP.
SPFPA. That's Spiffa.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm laughing because everybody says Spitfire, right? I'm like, man, you guys, SPFPA, man. You know,
Yeah, no.
I don't know what the Spitfire stands for, but it's only coming out of the mouth of marathons.
Well,
No.
Okay, no. There was a lawsuit filed by SPFPA against Leo. So Maritas cannot legally say that he cannot use SPFPA. So that's why he changes to Spiffa. It's whatever he.
I understand that. Brother Darrell, can I get your last name, man?
Hill, Hill.
I appreciate you, man.
And on for 15 years and an LA contract.
LA, okay, all right. LA/15. How long with marathons?
Same thing. He came in 2002.
Oh, yeah, with the same one. Okay. Came in 4 years. Good. And we got new pen. Thank you.
Hey, John, I'm sorry. Who's the gentleman down below? I don't got the name. With the headphones?
That's
Oh, this is my name is Tyler McKellips. I'm the person you spoke to yesterday.
That's
Tyler. Got it. Thanks.
Because on my screen, I got them all the way across. I got all y'all across. I'll follow that. I think I have a pen. My pen around. There we go. All right, I'm good. So I'm gonna let Tyler start this off. I would have started a little different, but because Tyler and I work together, Tyler's been coming over to we're at USCIS immigration across the street from the regular federal building. A few buildings close to each other, and some of them far on the other side, on the west side of the north shore of Oahu. So we kind of split up all over the island and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you want to start this off?
Yeah, I don't. We'll see if people filter in as we get running here. But yeah, just to start, why don't you guys tell us who you are, where you're from, what are you doing?
Isn't that what John just did? John just got information of who we are, where we from, how long we've been on.
Right.
Where you been for the last 5 minutes?
I've been struggling to get my headphones to cut on. Traffic was miserable. I literally ran inside to get on this call. I'm so sorry, gentlemen.
All right.
So we got
John, you want to fill him in? Because you just want us to repeat the same thing?
Yeah, we got better.
No problem. Listen, it's John. Excuse me. I'm Daryl. That's Carlos, and then Dwight Bendingo on. We're all on a LA contract, and we're all part of the board with Spiffa and part of the board with Leo.
Right. Okay. And how long have you guys? You guys have been with Leo for a while, though, yeah?
2020, since 2020, and we're currently trying to remove him.
Who were you guys with before that?
SPFPA.
And if you don't mind me asking, why did you leave?
We're not really ready to get rid of. We're not really to get into why we left them. But if you really want to know, it was their business model. They started acting like they running us versus us running them.
Right.
Or we work for them versus they work for us.
Right. And how did Leos come into your contract? Did someone contact them, or did they just pop up out of the blue?
No, someone contacted them. We went on a search for different unions. We started looking around at Teamsters, SEIU, and Maritas, because it was a struggle with trying to get a union that would be able to fit under the rules, meaning 9339? I don't know why.
9B3.
9B3B.
9B3.
9B3. Okay, so I got to remember that. What happened was, since SPFPA is a security-only union, we cannot mix with a, mixed union, such as the Teamster have trucks, and they do trucks and the mechanics and longshoremen, different things. So we had to go to all security union, and we tried like 3 or 4 different unions searching for them, but then the only one that came through was Maritas.
Okay. And how did that work? Like, what did he say to y'all that made you think that he was the right fit?
Well, he gave us all the false promises and promised us the world, said everything we wanted to hear, which, if you know anything about New Yorkers and the way they talk, the fast talk, it seemed like a snake oil salesman at the time, but we needed, let's say, the snake to get rid of the mouse. So we had to get rid of the current union we had, so we needed someone to step up. But we agreed at the time when we accepted Maritas, if he doesn't work out, we're going to get rid of him too.
Daryl, guys, if you could snapshot, I'm gonna give you a copy of the list of his lies, promises that he made. You could screenshot them.
It was on the screen. Who put that on? Who shared the screen before?
Yeah, can we pull that back up?
That's me. That's me.
Okay.
Right,
those are the promises that he made. You could screenshot.
Before we get too far ahead, just touching up on what Daryl had spoken about. I spoke to the president of Teamsters too. They were trying to see if they could be a part of this union. We just had no time because it was so last minute. The guys it's split between all of us here in Hawaii, right? And it's tearing the guys apart. And Hawaii is.
Daryl, can you keep that up for me, bud?
Do what?
Dwight, I'm sorry. Can you keep that back up for me?
What's that?
Can you
Dwight,
share your screen again?
I'll keep it up. Okay. So with Hawaii is everything is family. I mean, we know that how the mainland is like. It's more you earn your respect. You got to get your respect. You got to earn it. Hawaiians are more really, really family. Everything's family, and it's you automatically get respect. You're respected, and when you lose that respect, it's hard to gain it back. And with these guys, the way our guys here have felt about what was happening there, trying to get some things done in Hawaii. I was a part of this company and union for 7 years. Some of these guys just came in about 3 years ago. So they've only had our local board that they have now. And which is where I told them that might be where the problem is, because the local board prior to them was really good. The local board prior to that was same like how the local board is today. So I said the first thing I came in 7 years ago, bad. Nobody could find or retrieve their 401k from the board. They were given the information. Some guys were missing plus $18,000. So when we moved into the new union, we voted them out, local here. We put in a new union. I went out on disability because I broke my knee. But when I went out, we'd already voted in a new board, and they were really good for us. While being out, the guy who took the presidency seat didn't want to do the full union. Some of us asked him because he is retired police and retired security, and he did a lot of executive security. So he did a lot of union stuff. So he told us he would stick it out with us, stay for a little bit, get us started, get us down the road, and then he transferred to the vice president. And which they did, but I was already out of work. And I came back with third group of guys in, and everybody had a problem from it. So my role right now is to try to make people understand. Not about people be thinking about the mainland guys. As far as I'm concerned, I talked to them and I asked questions. They have no clue what the local guy was the president. He's also, it's funny to a lot of us, was that he was also the regional director. So nobody could get everything to the top. couldn't get no answers. And that's where we're at right now. So for us, we appreciate what you guys are doing today, helping us understand the troubles that you guys have gone through, because it's totally different from us. We haven't had marathons yet, but I also know stick talker when I see it. I grew up in the hood over here, a lot of Samoans my whole life. I'm part Samoan. So for me, I grew up with all those guys. I don't know somebody like that when you see him. I was just training to pilot today. I was never military, but I was DOD prior to coming here 7 years ago. Our bosses were DOD, that's why they brought us over. But I understand somebody when they're talking and they're full of a lot of beans. And they're just quick with an answer. We got 4 guys around them. They're just, what we call them white garoos. They look like puppets. You know?
So to be clear, John, you're saying that SPFPA, you're kind of in a bad situation. And some of the guys kind of want to move to LESU because of this bad situation. So understand this. This is how what we thought also, okay? And just to put it in a nutshell without bringing up other past issues, you're going to go into a worse situation. LESU is a worse situation. So I took the presidency after Daryl, okay? Shortly after LOES-PBA was voted in May. So they were out like October of 20. I got it in May of 21, okay? I only lasted maybe 6 months. Is that correct, Daryl? About 6 months?
Right.
They pushed me out. And during that time...
Who pushed you out?
Thank you.
LOES-PBA.
You said that. Okay. Thank you.
So 6 months from October, right? October
6 months from May of 2021. So that'll be 6 months would be about around October, somewhere around that time. During those 6 months, I tried to work with Steve. Okay, just so you understand my background, I'm a retired correctional officer. Okay, of the state of California. My training and experience, I mean, is huge with unions. CCPOA is where I came from. I was on their board. We met with DPA, 32 prisons. Okay, I'm telling you, it was big, 39,000 members. Okay, so I want you to understand this and I'm not doing it because I'm trying to, ring my bell or anything. I'm bringing this to the table, and then I'm seeing the ethics that Steve Meritas, that he doesn't have. He lied. He deceived us. He was very deceitful. When we went around asking the members for contract negotiations to bring up ideas, issues, whatever, I took into account all these guys, and I put into a contract that I wrote through the assistance of everyone. They tore it down and presented their own crap. Some stuff of mine, but
keep using the word they. Why don't you say who they is so everybody's clear?
Steve Meritas.
Thank you.
Rodriguez. Steve Meritas, Rodriguez, Chip Stripek. Thank you, Daryl. When we were on the table negotiating with Laura Hagan, their chief counsel, and when I tabled a lot of those issues that they tore from the contract, she got up and walked away. Within 30 minutes, we could see Steve getting on the phone, and then Daryl and I were not allowed to do a Zoom meeting. We were locked out. It was funny, you know. And so Steve negotiated, you know, for us, I guess, you know, not, you know, he did it himself. Basically, he shoved it down. When it didn't pass ratification, because he was certified, he could do this legally, and he ratified it himself. He passed the contract. This is what I fear for you guys, losing your voice, losing 100% of your dues. And so we're just trying to help you. Don't do the same mistake that we did.
If you don't mind me asking, whenever you left SPFPA, did you have any money in the union bank account?
Yes.
How much money did you guys have?
We left there having $500,000 in the
$500,000. Wow. And what happened to that money, if I can ask?
Well, It stayed with the local 3, and okay, part of it stayed with SPIFA, and part of it stayed with, okay. We represented local 3. We had 2 different companies.
Okay.
We had Paragon. We represented Paragon, and we represented a company called
Spectrum.
Spectrum. They detention officers. So Spectrum's still with local 3, and so that money stayed with local 3.
But
And
what-
then SPIFA had part of it, and local had part of it.
And that means the Paragon officers still got to use it.
Yes, they still get to use it.
Okay. Okay. And how much money was left
Now,
for the Paragon
if
officers?
you guys leave, that money's gonna be reverted back to SPIFA.
All $103,000 of it.
All of it, yes.
Yeah,
We're gonna lose it all.
that's what I said earlier. It was gonna go back to them. We couldn't use it because we're
Okay,
changing.
okay. So if you don't mind me stepping back and backtracking to the point where we are now, where we're still mid-vote, we still have just these promises that Meritas has given us. Dwight, I hate to bug you one more time for that. I just want to make sure I'm reading what you showed us earlier directly. Can you put it back on screen one more time?
Hey, give us your email. We'll email it to you.
Yeah, I'll put it in
Put it on the
chat.
screen. Yeah. That's the best.
Tyler, you can send it to me and I'll send it to the guys.
You should
Okay.
do it. I mean,
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. I'll email
Oh, the
it
other
to
thing I was gonna ask is, when you guys left SPFBA to go to Meritas' cruise, was it big enough a problem? What were we looking at? Because it's to me, I'm trying to get to where the guys can understand why you would go back to SPFBA.
nobody said we was going back to
No,
SPF.
going back.
Okay.
Can I just speak for a moment? When we were with SPFPA, we're getting approximately 40% of the funds. With those funds, we were able to save close to 500,000.
More.
And out of those 500,000, because of COVID, we were able to distribute a substantial amount of it to the members. Because a lot of them are not working full time because of COVID. A lot of Social Security closures, federal building closures. We were able to give it to the officers for assistance, meaning the local have the money to help the members. With Steve, he's gonna take everything. You're not gonna have nothing. You won't be able to help your officers. He's gonna take everything. I hope you understand what I'm trying to drive at.
Yes. Thank you.
What he said, okay, so I was the president of the local. And during COVID, yes, and Dwight was the secretary. And so we came up with a financial assistance program where we was helping our PSO'S who were out during COVID, because a lot of federal buildings closed down. So during this time, me and my financial treasurer wrote $209,000 worth of checks to the members, spread it out through what we have at that time, probably 400 officers. So divided, we wrote some check. Those who actually contracted COVID got a check for $2,000, and everybody else got a check for $1,200. And we assisted them during that time. Because, like I said, we wasn't having any meetings, so we had the money. Because during COVID, we couldn't have any in-person meetings, so we had, like I said, a large nest egg, and so we just used it to help our members. And that's one of the plus sides of having your own local money. With Meritas, everything was downhill, meaning we still had like cell phones that required the union to pay for. Meritas made us pay out our own pocket, and then took 3 months to reimburse. And then Meritas didn't want to give us nothing. We never had any meetings, never had any training. So my point on here today is to let you guys not to make the same mistake by going to Meritas. I don't know exactly what problem you guys are having with SPFPA, but it will be way worse going with SPIFA. That's what you do not want to do. I mean, excuse me, going with Marita. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. You don't want to
No,
go
I
with
think we got it. I think we got it.
LEOSU. You don't want to do that because that would be making a grave mistake. You will lose everything you got and then some.
Yep.
Now, once again, I don't know what the exact problem is with SPFA, what the membership sees. Like I said, my exact problem was when a international get to the point where they started acting like they running us versus us running them or working for us. That's when it's time for them to go. I don't know if that's you guys' issue, but that was our issue.
Okay.
Here's another thing I'd like to add to that. You're gonna lose. I'm sure you guys use your cell phones or whatever on duty, and people get suspended for whatever adverse action.
Right. Those were my next questions, actually.
Okay, whatever. Who cares what it is? Okay. There's violations all over the place. We were promised attorney representation. That fell short. So that money that Daryl's talking, the excess that Nico's also talking about, you know, we'll hire our own, we'll retain our own attorneys locally. They wouldn't, LEOSU won't do that. At least with SPFA, you would have that ability to do so.
Yeah, and so
I'm telling you, we've had people that have been terminated and they have been represented. We have people that gear has been stolen and legitimately they try to lock it up correctly, but it's been stolen and they've been on the beach for 30 days, 11 days, whatever. You know, I mean, I'm already losing count of how many people things have happened, and this attorney does not come into play.
So can you walk us through what the grievance process was for you guys under LEOSU?
There is no such
There wasn't one.
So that what they told us, where we can send an email and they would get back to us with our grievance, that's not true.
That's not
That
true.
is not true.
No, it's not.
And
Okay, so
again, just to confirm, when you guys do have a local union, correct?
Yes. Well, that's another thing.
Can they help with
Supposedly
grievances?
we do, but under the labor board, we found an LM4, and Maritas does not recognize the local whatsoever.
So you guys can't
Oh,
even help with grievances.
So you
Let
guys
me
are not
answer-
certified.
Let me add
Correct.
something to that.
That's correct.
There is no elected officers in position right now for what they were elected for.
Right.
Well,
so-
you're broken.
When Poveda was removed, whatever position that Nugent has before, he was elevated and appointed to the president.
He wasn't voted in.
Nugent appointed his vice president. No, none of them were voted in their positions. None.
These are
And-
all yes men for Maritas.
Okay, what happened is this. There is a proper way of having an election through the NLRB rules. Maritas broke all those rules. He did it
Right.
his own way. Everything Maritas did was his own way. Maritas did not know how to really properly run a local union or a national union. He was just there he's a headhunter. He's a organizer. What he do is go in and steal unions from other companies. He go in there with a bunch of promises, a bunch of stories, and a bunch of false tales. He actually put it in writing, which we're going to send you. He put the stuff in writing and still didn't keep none of it. But the worst part of it all, this is the worst part. The most important part to the PSOs is their voices to challenge the ratification of the CBA. So it started as tentative agreement, where the local board meet with the company and come up with a tentative agreement, and then the members vote whether to accept or reject that tentative agreement. If they choose to reject it, they go back to the table and then they draw it again. But this particular time, Maritas took the local out of the CBA or the tentative agreement and made it just about the international and the company, thereby taking one of the only tools we have to fight the company. And then on top of that, gave the company more power to discipline us. Everything I use as a president of the union against the company, Maritas allowed the company to remove those, I call it loopholes. You know, okay, like this. one of the old CBA says the company may not introduce any new code of conduct unless it's negotiated with the union.
Yeah.
They took that out. It now says the company from time to time may introduce new codes of conduct without negotiating with the union.
But from time to
They-
time,
they
like,
took
could
it
that, what is from time to time? Does that mean they could come up with
Throughout the
something else
contract.
They're
during your
choosing.
shift?
They're choosing.
throughout
They're
the
choosing.
contract. So the
Well,
term,
It,
So
it,
listen,
it only means one thing. Whatever suits the company, they'll do.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
In
they
other
choose
words-
when they want to do it.
So
Yes.
okay, so a CBA is a collective bargaining agreement.
Right.
They must abide to that contract, and that contract is good for 4 years. And so that's time to time. I mean, in between that 4-year time period.
3 years, Daryl.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, three.
3.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because-
Just had
So-
an extension, that's all. We had an
Just-
extension.
So just to
Yes, yes.
ask a question that may seem kind of stupid, but someone that may find this video that's going up on YouTube later might want to know. If LEOSU isn't doing their job like they haven't been doing with y'all since 2020, and you decide that you no longer want representation from them, do you have an out before the end of that CBA?
Yes, sir. There's 2 ways to do it. Number one, we are doing both of them. Currently, we are doing the certification. The certification take place where we first must get 30% of the people on the contract to sign a piece of paper that says we no longer want this union to represent us.
Okay.
Now, that one you have to do 90 days prior to the contract expiring. Then
Right.
there is the authorization where you can
The
stop
authorization.
paying union. What? Oh, well, you can stop paying union dues, and you can do that every year during the contract, every 12 months. We did that also, but in that okay, I'm sorry. The first vote you need, once you get the paperwork, you get the ball rolling, you need the majority of the people on the contract. Excuse me, the majority of the people that
Sure.
vote. Let's
Simple
just have
majority.
450 officers. But if only 100 people vote, as long as we got the majority of that 100, we will win, and we will be able to get rid of Maritas.
And you said that could be done at any time or only 90 days?
No, that's
before
the 90 day. That one is the 90 days before the contract
the
ends.
CBA.
Yes.
Let me clarify, Daryl, real quick.
Go ahead.
So, in short, a decertification takes 30% of a petition. For us, 430 PSOs, it takes 130 officers. And then we take it to election 90 days before to the judge for an election. If 6 people vote, if 6 people only show up to the vote, all we need is 4 people to vote in our favor. If we get 100 people, we need 51 people.
No,
It's-
you said it wrong. The majority. Oh, majority is.
yeah, that is a majority.
Okay, so my
Said it
bad.
right.
My bad.
It's
Yeah,
a
majority.
simple majority.
Now, hold on, let me finish. A deauthorization can be done annually. That needs a super majority. That means that you need always 51% of the entire membership. That's 430 people. You'll always need 216 bodies. Always, every year. As long as your membership is 430, you always need 216. Versus the other one, you just need 51% of the people that vote, and that's just a regular, majority, just a simple, what they call a simple majority.
Right, you guys have
Yeah,
been
I
doing
did.
this since you got in, just to clarify.
Yes, but that can only be done at the end of the contract.
Okay. And
you
how
be- we'll
long
be
has it been since
We'll
you?
be with them for 2 years.
But how long has it
9
been
months.
since you guys joined the LEOSU union that you came up with the idea to start doing this, not paying union dues?
Within the first year. Within the first year, because of the contract. When he took our name out of the contract, we knew that he's not here for us.
Right.
Because the international is supposed to be for the membership.
Right.
Once you take the membership name out of being able to ratify a contract, you're not here for us.
Right.
Here, if I can interject also. When I became president, we also had what we called a leadership committee that we established. So, unbeknownst to Maritas, I would have my meetings with him, and then I would run to the leadership committee and say, hey, he's doing this, I'm asking for this, hey, I'm telling you, it's unethical. I would run to Daryl, White, and we had another, 15 other guys, right? Or something like that? Whatever. Anyways.
It's
And they
15
would
total.
pass- Okay, so we have 15 total people that I will run to and say, hey, I've asked for the LM1s, the LM2, The only reason he's not giving it to us. I've asked for money. I've asked for money for training, for meetings, for bereavement. I've asked money for equipment, simple laptops, phone, for the phone money, all of these things. And that's when the flag started rising up. And we said, we got to get rid of him. Okay, so we had to figure out, let's try and write a contract we can pass in our favor at this. Okay, so we already began strategizing. And then we really saw it when they took our voice to ratification. When they took that, we knew we were going to be hurting for a while. Then we started basically it's a sequence of events. Think of it of a domino effect. And we exhausted everything. Deauthorization was the last thing that we did. We could have done it again, but we said it's just tiring. It's a lot easier to just do the decertification. And that's where we're at. And right now, just so you're aware, out of 430, all we needed was 130 signatures. I have together, I don't want to say I apologize, all of us have collected together over about 230 signatures.
Collected.
To want him out. And we're still going.
Well, it sounds like you guys are putting up some good work. John, take the floor, please.
There's a couple of questions that we gotta ask. I know we kind of jumped far ahead of now, but let's go back to your health and welfare and your union dues. Do you mind if we ask, because I'm not sure if you guys want to put that number, but do you mind if we ask what the number was that you guys were paying right before you went with LEOS?
Okay, so with Spiffer, we're paying 2.5%
yeah.
of our
even like we're paying right now.
We do annual paycheck, hourly wages. Right? That's what I'm saying. Hourly wages. My bad. So 2% of our hourly wages.
Yeah, and then do you know what kind of number you're looking at for the health and welfare? The question I'm going to ask after is, what did it, if it moved up, what did it move up? If it did.
Okay, so every year we get a raise on the health and welfare. So I don't know if you are asking that question. Our health and welfare right now is $5.25. I mean, that's what you're asking.
Okay, what did you start the contract at?
Because before LEOS, FITFA would be going up. We didn't get the same kind of rate as you got, and that's one of the arguments for why you have all of its PSOs on that, almost everybody. And I'll get to that part after, but the reason I'm asking is before you into LEOS, yes.
Let me clear one thing up that Daryl forgot to mention. So we are no longer not equitable, all the PSOs. The new PSOs are paying more, and they're paying an initiation fee. So
that's what I'm going to get to, because I can't get to that part without getting what you were paying before.
Okay, all right.
So you're right. Before you were the LEOS, you're the SPBA. You pay the same as us, 2.5% of your hourly wage. Did it change when you went with LEOS?
Yes, we asked for that change. Okay, so when we brought him in, we asked for 50% of the union dues. He promised that. We asked to go down to 2% of our hourly rate. And he agreed to that. And then we said we're gonna waive the initiation fees. Now, when he came in, he tried to charge everybody for initiation fees. I said, no, you promised him that you were gonna waive it. Then he said, okay, well, if they sign up before a certain date, we will waive it. But everybody who didn't sign the dues authorization card prior to a certain date, he wasn't going to waive their initiation fee. And so some people got to waive, and others didn't.
Was that date easily accessible to the PSOs?
Wait, with Spitfall, prior to that, did you guys have union dues?
Initiation fee.
Yeah.
We don't have that initiation.
I can't hear it breaking up.
We never had that.
Never had that.
Okay.
We never had that initiation.
No. Initiation.
No.
Initiation.
With Spiff and no.
Okay. Fees. SPBA. And then his fees are what?
Steve?
Yes, sir.
It's very like Carlos was saying. Some people paying 2%, some people paying 2.5%.
And those changed based off of
the initiation fee. The initiation fee.
Some are 125, some are 200.
Okay, 125 to 200.
Yes.
125 and 200.
200. station fee. What is that? OSU. Okay. And then with your split for prior to LEOSU, what does your percentage rate of raise look like prior to that with your, I guess, your 3 years in the CBA?
Can I answer that?
Sure.
Daryl?
Anyway.
It depends on the economic situation. With SPIFA, if LEOSU is going to brag that they're going to give you $2, the highest that we got from SPIFA was more than $3. That was in 2008 when the economy was really bad. Very much similar to what we are going through right now. So whatever raise you have that's going to be offered right now is definitely going to be high because of the economy.
Yeah, because what I did was prior to all this, about 6 weeks ago, about 2 months ago, we knew that this was already going to happen with the units. So I went into looking at the national and Hawaii's cost of living, right? Breaking it down by the gallon of milk, the eggs, the beef, poultry, gasoline, mortgage, to buy a home here. So nobody can buy a home in Hawaii, right? A 2-bedroom, 1-bath house runs about $750,000, 600 square feet, right? So to make that kind of loan, you got to have 20% down. Who has that? If we're paying for McDonald's, you go to McDonald's fast food, it's a $12 burger, right? So we grew up not being able to save, but we adjusted that our whole life long. I'm 52, so what I'm trying to get to is if these raises, what I'm looking at, $3 max, most FBA have given you guys in the 3-year, what do you call that? CBA. We do know because of SPFBA or SPIFA that they told us we're 18% under the economy and where our raises are supposed to have gone. It was our local president that initiated the, what do you call that? The CBA bargain agreement with the company. And the company, because Casaban's here, he was here with Maritas. So I sat down with both of them the same day. They were one table away from each other. I sat down with both of them. One says, like I said, if I was bargaining with you, I'd tell you simple. I come down, we're making $27.25 now. The most we ever got was $1 raise. Everything else was like 40 cents, 60 cents in Hawaii, right? So I'm like, and I've been here, I think we went from 7 years, I think $23, $24 to where we're at now. It was at $25 before this last raise. So in all those years, we only had about $3 raise in 6 years. So we were told that it was because we had 30%. And we're number one and right up to the country. I found out it wasn't true from both unions. So for us, where did the raises go? SPFBA, I talked to them second because I knew that's where I was going to go anyway, between the two. When I asked Maritas, this guy just said, if I was sitting on a table with you, I'm going to tell you this. $27.25, we're that far behind. I'm on $40. At least I'm going to take the 36. If not, I'll see you later. I'm going to fuck with you guys. Because you're not going to keep doing that to us. Period. I don't care who you are. So,
have you ever been to have you ever been to a negotiation, wage negotiation?
Yeah. I do. Some of my best friends calls it Sunday night. I know how it works. I just had to throw that.
Well, John, I don't think our viewers are going to know how it works. So we can let Daryl talk.
Okay, we give the international credit for the raises. They're really not. The thing is this: Casaban and SPIFA was always in bed with one another. The government gives the raises, and Paragon is a business. They are trying to save money for their stakeholders. And so they will give you as less as possible. And sometimes the international is in bed with them to work on giving you less as possible. Now, when the union is not in bed with the company, then you could get more money. Because like I said, the government gets the money. It's just they try to keep as much as they can. Y'all should be at a higher wage, and you should be, your local board should be pushing that number. Unfortunately, the internationals always say, well, we are discussing these, and they always agree with what the company want because they was in bed with Kosovo. And that therein lies some of the problem we have. Now, of course, raises is based on relationships. Our negotiations based on relationships. You have a good relationship with the international, or with your board members, or with the employees, you'll get a nice raise. But then when they don't like you guys, if you guys are, like you said, getting a bunch of write-ups and you're not really putting forth the effort, yeah, the company gonna give you a low raise. It's like anything else in life. And so that's where a strong union can help push, or a strong board, an executive board, can help push that number. Because you can use numbers such as wage determination, and then you can use numbers such as what everybody else is getting around the country, and use that as a measuring tool to get you a higher rate. Because the company will 100% try to keep as much. Now, every negotiation will start off at $5, and then Laura Hagen, which is the union, the company representative, always go down to 25 cents. And it's funny as hell. It always happened like that. $5, okay, 25 cents. Okay, $4, okay, 50 cents. And it goes up and up, and we'll come somewhere in the middle. But they are in it for themselves. And so the membership must stay strong and push for better wages and benefits. That's where you guys got to have a strong board.
A strong local board.
Like I was saying, I understand about union boards. I have been to a lot of ILWU meetings. The local vice president is a guy who's like my older brother. The international vice president, who I spent my whole Sunday with, is somebody I grew up my whole life with. My uncle was the Teamsters in Hawaii vice president. Like, my father's a part of fire department. So the information I get comes from a lot of them, spending time with them. I've been to a lot of their union meetings because at the time, 15 years ago, I quit drinking. At the time, I used to go to the meetings first and leave out and drink. But I totally understand how it works. But I have to throw that at him on the table just to see what he'd say.
So my question is, if I can interject, my question is, we discussed it earlier. LEOS-SPA did not bring you all to the table. Not LEOS, yeah, LEOS-PBA did not bring you all to the table. And it takes us at the table to get the raises that we need.
Yes.
All right. So whenever you guys did get your first raise, was it what he promised you?
Well, no.
What did he promise you? 6%.
He promised us 6%, and we got a 4% raise.
4% raise. Can you put that in dollar amounts for us layman folk?
I forgot the dollar total of values. I forgot the dollar.
But you'd say probably between $1 and $2, somewhere in that range, if not a little more, but no more than 3.
No.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't more than 2.
Wasn't more than 2. It was less than 2.
Yeah, it was
So
less than
he
2.
promised you 6.
6%. Which, if 3 is less than 2, it's a $4 raise. You guys were promised that you
$4
didn't
raise,
get.
and we got it's like a $4 raise, and we end up getting $1 with the health and welfare, $1.90, I think.
And do you guys get
The
your
first
health and
one,
welfare, or does
$1.92.
that show up
$1.92.
in your paychecks at all? Your health and welfare.
Yeah, so the health and welfare is separate, as you know. So the base was $1. What was it? I forgot now. $1.50, and then some. It was end up being $1.92. Damn, I forgot the number now. Oh, it's on that piece of paper. Where that piece of paper?
That's still a hilariously low number for what you guys were promised. And again, y'all had no recourse to try and fight that.
No, because we're not certified.
He dropped us out. He took us out of the.
So
picture.
he installed his own union president, decertified him, did not let him come to the table, and gave y'all no recourse to fight it.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
Wow.
That's why the feeling here is like we're calling that there's fire. There's fire. We're alerting you that this is happening. It's up to you how you react.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. The reason why we're going about where we're going is for everybody who's leaning towards that way. You can understand how it went from the beginning to the end, what you were promised, what you received. And there's a lot of things across, like me, for us right now, I did the accrual time difference. I did all the mathematics on that. I did all the numbers, right? And nobody was even looking at that. For us, with both of them, 0 to 5 years is 0.043, right? And that comes out to about 80 hours. Right? And you do, for us, our second tier is 0.080. This is 0.06563, something like that. And at the end, we have 0.096. Theirs is 0.086. Across the board, we lose 4.5 days of vacation time. But if you don't take that vacation time, you're still supposed to get paid that money at the end of your calendar year. So when you lose all of that time, nobody is paying attention to that. But I went out and did that. So the reason why, that's one of the reasons why we asked you guys what you guys had. Really also, and if they gave it to you.
Daryl, I just sent you a copy of that paper.
Okay. I got it. I'm trying to understand what you were saying, because Leo-Su did more damage than good. Now, money, okay, so the company gives you the money. And like I said, it's based on relationships. I think Steve at the time had a good relationship with Casaban, because Casaban is now working with Steve. And so he was willing to release more money. And it's really what it's all about, relationship. Now, if money is all you guys want, Casaban not there no more. So that relationship that Steve had with Casaban is thrown out the window. You guys gonna be going with a new person that took Casaban's place. So Steve don't have that inside person anymore. It ain't gonna be the same. I think toward the end, David Hickey and Casaban had friction with one another, and so that's why the raises wasn't that great. Because it's really about relationship. Raises about relationship. Yeah. And the government give Paragon the money, so they already have the money. It's about whether or not they want to give it to us or keep it themselves.
And do you think we would have a better chance with a PSO elected union board going into that CBA negotiation to get the raise we deserve?
Yes, most definitely, because you can push back. Because the thing is this, do the math and take the numbers there with you. Meaning, this is what LA is getting, what San Diego is getting, this is our cost of living, and we should be comparable to them. Don't take, like, they're going to give you all the BS, oh no, you guys, let's say write-ups. Write-ups come with the business. But you're still here to protect the government and their employees. We haven't lost any employees. We haven't lost any government employees. So we're doing our job. So don't let the company bullshit you. They're going to bullshit you. Try to get as much as you can. Make your members look good. And you argue the past. In the past, this is how much we have, the raises we've been getting, and we've been losing. We've been under the cost of living every single year. And so you just got to argue your points and try to get as much as you can. It doesn't matter what international you go in there with. It's all about you guys putting forth a good effort to get what you can get. Steve is not gonna put it like this. But Steve had a better relationship with Casaban, and it's up to the corporation that give you the raise. They can give you what they want to give you within the amount they got from the government. And so if somebody can find that amount out, you can use that against them. I was able to look at the statement of work every year. The statement of work is from the government. Take your contract number, the CBA number, and Google it, and you can get the statement of work because it's public record. And you can see how much of award the company was given by the government. And then you do the math about the number of employees you have, and you get an idea how much they give you per officers. Now, of course, that comes into overtime. A lot of stuff that CBA shows, a statement of wages, statement of work shows is built in overtime, training, and all this other stuff. So you'll see a large amount, a large number. Because ours now is like $1 billion. It's $1 billion for the LA area. And so, but training, overtime, and everything else is built into that. So it's not all about our wages. and they got to pay their supervisor. So they got to do all that, all take care of all of us, plus their supervisor, plus the cars, plus the training uniforms with that $1 billion. But you can get an idea of what they get, and then go from there. But definitely don't accept no 25 cent, 50 cent, this bush. Like I said, when y'all doing a negotiation, don't accept it. When I was president, we never had less than $1 raise, but the other company, they was kind of screwed because their CEO, the CEO was giving them a hard time and didn't really give them no money. And so they got like a 35 cent raise, which was bullshit. But their board members wasn't speaking up. And I was speaking up on their behalf, but they wasn't speaking up on their behalf. And so I'm like, no, that's not enough. That's ridiculous. When they had another, we are in LA area. They had another company, the same company in the San Bernardino area, and they was getting $1.25 more than them. And they said, well, that's San Bernardino. And then this was the international arguing against us, saying that's a different part of the county. Riverside County and LA County is two different counties. But
right, and which international was saying that? SPFPA or
this
LEOS?
was SPFPA, yes.
Okay.
They was arguing against the local about the other, because we're doing the numbers. Like I said, I got the numbers from everywhere. People in this position make this amount of money. And the people who works the same position for the same company in San Bernardino County was getting $1.25 more. So we should get it. Well, that's San Bernardino, this is LA. They're not the same. I said, no, LA is more expensive to live, just like Hawaii. And we should get more money here. And this was Ryan Kelly at the time. He was arguing against us, and that was a bad thing. That's why I said people lose taste for international when they start arguing against the local in favor of the company. But like I said, when you're in bed with the company, they want certain things from their internationals. And if I can say, it's probably best to go on you guys on, if you can organize your membership and go on your own, that'll be probably the best route. But SPFPA is still better than Steve. You'll be going out of I don't know, like I said, I don't know specifically what problem y'all having with SPFA, but going out of the fire into the frying pan is not going to be any better.
Right,
it's going to be worse.
So I know you said it once. I'm going to ask you to say it again, just in case someone wasn't listening earlier.
Okay.
Is SPFPA still in bed? SPFPA, are they still in bed with Paragon?
Well, Casaban is gone, so I don't know. I don't know.
Steve was in bed with. And
Steve, definitely, yeah.
Hold
Steve,
up.
definitely.
Okay, listen. Okay, relationships. Relationships is good and bad. Meaning, if you have a good relationship, a good rapport with the CEO, you can get almost what you want. So when I say in bed, it's a two-way street. Casaban said, "I'll give you I'll scratch your back if you scratch my back."
Right.
That's what normally happens. Okay. I want this in the contract. They ask for this, we're not going to give them, because they normally had this conversation with themselves before they talk to us. My experience, I did it for 4.5 years. It was always a dog and pony show. The very first negotiation I went to, the guy I went there with, he was the previous president, and he was dictating, before it happened, everything that was going to be happening. He was saying, watch, they're going to do this, watch, they're going to do this, watch, they're going to do that. And then they actually did everything he said. So it was a dog and pony show. So the company and the union already have whatever numbers they have in place before they walk into that room. Now that's when you guys come in and say, no, we're not going to go for that. Even though the international is supposed to be speaking up for our behalf, you still have the right, because they work for you guys. You don't work for them.
Right.
Oh, by the way, that right? Forget it. If you're in with the LEOS, forget about that right. You cannot advocate for other issues, because they will sign that right away.
because
they
you can only
did that to us.
can negotiate one company. Yeah.
So
Our only bet to have a word, to have a say, is to be with LOES-PBA, because that's the only two that's on the ballot.
Yeah, because it seems like if we have two choices here. We get a fight for our rights with SVFPA, or we get our rights taken from us and they're dictated to us whether we agree with them or not from LEOSU.
Sure.
Correct. That's 100% correct.
Tyler, did you get? I just sent you on your phone number. I guess the 803 number.
I did. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, that'll give you exactly what we got.
Okay, so I just have one question because
that number is our hourly rate plus the what is it called, the health and welfare.
And you guys went with. I'm gonna read this out for the viewers because I can't put it on the screen. I know there's nobody in the chat, but they're YouTube after this, right? You guys went with LEOSU in 2020.
Yes.
Your standard rate was $39.49.
In 2020, yes.
In 2021, your standard rate was $40.92. Was that their first raise they gave you, or was the $39.49 one the raise they gave you?
I'm going to that paper. So, there it is.
The 4032.
The 40.32
I
was
don't
your
have
first
anything,
raise.
so I'll listen.
And then 2022, you went from 40.92 to 43.17. John, you're the one good with numbers. Can you fast math that?
I don't have anything, so I can't see anything.
Okay,
He
so
just gave you numbers.
from 40.92 to 43.17 from the year 2021 to 2022.
40.92.
That's a dollar and around 20 cents,
No,
I think.
no, it's $2 plus. So 40.90 to 43 what?
43.17.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
$2
right,
and-
$2. But it took you guys over a year
70
with LEOSU to
70%.
get that money. And it still doesn't seem like the 6% that was promised whenever he came in 2020.
Correct.
Okay. I've got no further questions on this piece of paper if you guys want to talk more about it. John, I'm sending it over to you now.
Yeah, no. A lot of it has to do, I believe, with our local board, the local board that we have.
So understand.
It's
Remember, we told you that the health on the 4317 subtract 5.25 for health and welfare, and the rest of it is our hourly.
Huh.
oh, wait. 42.17 or 43, yeah?
Yeah.
4317 minus
Minus-
5.25.
5. That's
So one's our hourly, the other is health and welfare.
So while while he does that math,
37.
we have gone over an hour. I don't want to keep you boys much longer than we want to keep talking, but I did receive a question from a Hawaii PSO who is currently posted, still at work. He doesn't get off until 7, but PSO Chain wanted me to ask you the question. Did LEOSPA offer you guys unionized healthcare, like a healthcare plan from the union?
No.
No.
No, that wasn't on the books at all even to begin with, or was that something he promised and took away?
Something he promised and then took away.
Okay, so how are you guys getting healthcare then?
From
Is it
Paragon.
From Paragon, and that's your only option if you want healthcare from one of the two, either the union or the company.
Well, the company is really legally responsible for providing health care. Sometimes the union steps in to assist or to take the burden off the company's back. But like Spiffa took the burden off the company back.
Right, and John,
Yeah.
you've been here longer than I have. Does our healthcare with Paragon, what do we get from them? Is it just healthcare or vision and dental?
I didn't take mine from the very beginning. I took the 401k.
No, but who provided? The company or the union?
Well, the company provides it, but the union actually fights for it.
Right, so is Paragon providing you guys with vision and dental?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's my question about that. I hope Chang, whenever you see
understand,
this tomorrow,
There's no choices. It's just Kaiser. That's it.
just Kaiser.
That's what
it.
it was before. That's what it was prior to 17 and before. Last I remember was 17. It's the reason why I didn't take it in Hawaii, being a democratic state, like LA and New York. The firearms things with you guys a little more stringent on what you can buy, but to buy a firearm in Hawaii, all of that mix program, we've got to take a class It doesn't matter we working with Paragon, even with their training. We gotta go pay someone to give us a handgun training class or a hunter's education class. And that's about, I think about $450. You gotta take that, get all that stuff, and then you gotta, when you buy your firearm here, it takes about 2 weeks before they okay it, right? And
Is it
a
reimbursable?
lot of it has to,
No.
huh?
Is it reimbursable?
What's
From
that?
Paragon.
Does
No,
Paragon reimburse you for everything you got to do to get your gun?
Yep.
No,
Is this
that's
for the
not a
company?
gun. Personal. No, personal.
Why are we talking about personal stuff? Why?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No,
All right, boys.
how Democrats-
Boys, and with that said, we have gone over an hour again. I would hate to take up any more of your time, so let's give the floor to you three. Any final remarks you have for us? We won't ask you any more questions.
Okay, the final remark for like the healthcare. When we were with SPFPA, they provided us healthcare. When we went to Leo, we lost our health care with SPFPA, and then we ended up going with the company healthcare plan, which costs us financial much more than it did when we were with SPFPA. A lot of people was upset because they started paying more money out of their pocket. Now, individual person, yes, the company would cover the individual person. But when you have a wife and kids, you're going to be paying substantially more. We paid substantially more when we left SPFPA. So
And-
there's a lot of things to think about when you leave one union and go on with another one, especially if the healthcare is with the union and the 401k is with the union. You got to think about these things. But like I said, the most thing that if the members was on here, the biggest thing to take away from this meeting is you are going out of the frying pan into the fire. Right?
And let me add something to what Daryl just said. Aside from we lost the insurance when SPFPA left. Before that, Steve promised, "Oh, if you want this Blue Cross, you want Kaiser, I'll give it to you. You want it lower rate? Yeah, I'll give it to you." None of those happened. I'm telling you guys, none of those happened. By the way, Tyler, I gave you the list of his promises. I sent it to you by email. And if you want to ask me questions about that, you can just email me back.
Absolutely, I most certainly will be doing that.
Steve, one final thought. Steve is a dictator, and he's gonna, if he takes reign of you guys, he's gonna make you try, because he's gonna appoint his people. He's gonna make you guys fight against each other. He's gonna put up things against each other. I'm telling you, Steve, we'll do that. It's just not gonna go good at all.
Right. Is there anything else, gentlemen?
That is it on my end.
All right, well, guys, very powerful statements from all of you. It's really good to hear what it's like to be a PSO under the future that we're currently facing. Thank you for your time tonight. If you have nothing else to say, feel free to leave the call.
Oh, maybe one last thought.
There we go.
So Daryl, one last thing. Daryl's have brought up about going local, which is what we're doing. If you do pick up
Not
this,
yet.
if you think about this
Carlos, not now.
for the future,
Not,
we'll work with you guys.
Please stop.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time. It's
I can tell you this though, we're not going to be able to go local right now. Nobody's on that discussion.
All right,
Because everybody's on a discussion on how to go with which one of the two.
then you know the better choice.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
the
I
better
do.
choice is to stay with the devil you know versus going to the devil you don't know.
Exact
Correct.
words we used
Correct.
3 days ago.
all right, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Myself and John Fury will remain on the call to give our closing statements and stop this video to get it posted on YouTube for anyone that wants to see it in the future. For you three, my YouTube channel is inside the chat. This video will be up sometime tonight after it processes. It will be unedited. Everything we said will be live on, or will be as live as we can get on the air from start to finish.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Let me get
Hey,
this.
thank you guys very much, man. Coming from us, we stand Hawaiian. Mahalo ba. Thank you very
Take
much.
care,
I
John.
really appreciate you.
Take care, Tyler.
Let me copy
Thank you,
this.
Hello.
guys.
Copy link. Okay. I copy the YouTube. Ready. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good night, gentlemen.
Somewhere.
All right.
All right, so oh, he's gone.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get cut out also. No, I was just copying and pasting that. Let me see how to get out here. Somehow, down at the bottom. Leave. Where's there it is? Leave. Okay. Take care, sir. Thank you
You
very
too,
much.
sir. Thank you.
All right.
All right, gentlemen. I don't know what happened to John. I'm pretty sure he just cut out. But as you just heard from three Paragon PSO'S from California, I know we were all over the place tonight, but the keynotes, their local representation was taken away from them. They had a president appointed to them. He was not allowed to go to the table. They did not get what they asked for. That alone should be concerning enough moving forward. SPFPA is going to give us the right to go to the table. Speaking of which, I know I've said it a million times, but I am still your candidate for vice president. But it doesn't have to be that way if you don't want me, and that's a right that is afforded to you all. On September 8th, I've been rehearsing this all day. On September 8th, Election Buddy sent you an email allowing you to nominate candidates for every position of the local board. As you heard tonight, that is our best and only way of fighting back against not only Paragon, but whatever union we go with, to ensure that we get what we deserve, to ensure that we maintain our health care, get the raises we need, and get the representation we need whenever we are unjustly punished by our company. With that said, gentlemen, if you did pop in and we weren't paying attention, thank you for your time. When you see this before you clock in tomorrow, follow the timestamps. At the end of the video, we have everything that we needed to say, and this will be unedited. Show it to your buddies. Show it to your co-workers. If you're still on the fence, there is still time to sign that ballot and make the right choice. Again, gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to take up your time. Brothers and sisters, thank you for allowing us to take up your time. We hope you make the right choice moving forward. Good night.
Recording stopped.